Photography for me is a form of expression. I consider myself a lifelong storyteller. Before I was a photographer, I was a writer for the Albany Times-Union. I've written a couple books, and photography is really just a visual extension of that storytelling. It's an opportunity for me to kind of showcase the relationships between people a little bit. I'm a storyteller. First and foremost, I tell stories. Whether it's with words or it's visually, that's what I've done my whole life. When I was a little boy, um, I remember not going out and playing in the summer and instead sitting inside and writing my own Hardy Boys stories. And that kind of let me know that I wanted to tell stories. I grew up in an Irish family. We are 100% storytellers. We fib constantly, um, or tell big fish tales, whatever you want to call it. The camera is an extension of my life as a writer. It is a way to tell who people are. I love that people can look at an image and they get it in an instant. You know, if you look at my photography, you know exactly what I'm trying to say. My road to photography was a complete accident. My wife and I were going on a trip to Mexico. I had never owned a camera in my life, and I went to Office Max and picked up a little Olympus C720. Remember the specific model about a dozen years ago, and it was such a cliche. This digital camera, I would get up at 5:30 in the morning and go out to the beach and make pictures of the rocks. You know, these horrible, cliched, touristy photos. And I came back, and I want to say within a month, I was enrolled in school. I was taking film classes so that I'd learn the foundation of photography, and I was just voracious. It was like it was meant to be. The camera was meant to be in my hand. It was just another way for me to tell people stories. So I shot for Newsday, I shot for the Times-Union, and I really try to carry a lot of what I learned as a journalist into what I do as a wedding photographer, and that I know how to tell a story without dictating the flow of your day. So I'm not a director on your wedding day. I'm somebody behind the scenes capturing things as they happen. The flip side for me, though, is as a portrait photographer, I've worked with people like Eli Manning. I've worked with bands like Matt and Kim. I've done some pretty high-profile, high-stress situations, and really know how to make portraits quickly and effectively, and how to light people to flatter them, and just kind of how to tease out the emotion. So, you know, a little bit of photojournalism, a little bit of portrait work, and I think it's a really good combination on a wedding day. There's a hunger. It sounds silly, but there's a hunger inside me to tell people stories. I think it really is as simple as that. And this is a fascinating job in that I get to get up every day and do something that people value and give them something that hopefully they treasure for years. Um, I think I draw some of my inspiration as well from having worked for a long time at jobs that did not fulfill me. And I know what it means to go in and punch out. I have a job that I'll never do that in again. And I value that ability to give people something that means something to them every day. I've been everywhere in the world with this job. I've shot weddings in places as exotic as Colombia, South America. I've been to Ireland to shoot weddings. I have been in the hated New England Patriots locker room as a Jets fan. That pained me. I've been inside of dressing rooms of rock stars. Most importantly, though, I get to spend wedding days with couples. I get to be with them on some of their most intimate moments. I'm there when they put a ring on a finger. It's just such a symbolic moment that here's this moment that marks the start of your marriage, that 20, 30, 40, 50 years later, you can look back in an image and go, wow, this is when it became official. And I get to be there for that. So, you know, as much as I value some of the more high profile things, I think I live for those moments that I get to spend with people that they'll treasure forever. You know, I get a lot of things that I treasure. It's when you share it with somebody else and it means something to them that it really becomes valuable. I love that I get to be with people on days that mean a lot to them. I love that I wake up more days than not and I have feedback from clients who love their experience, love their images, and want to tell me about it. You know, as I said before, I spent long enough in the real work world to know how hard you have to work to get positive feedback at a desk job. I'm in a job where people really seem to appreciate what what it is I do for them, and they always want to tell you about it. And that's, you know, just to know that you made, even just on one day, you made a little difference for somebody. You made them feel good about the way they looked, or you made them feel like the love that they share for each other can be captured by a camera and they can show it to other people. That's really valuable.